sitting here fact-checking Israel because we don't want the fair name of Hamas to be besmirched.
I don't think anybody said that. I have read the New York Times report where both sides are guilty of trying to manufacture stories.
Which are the two sides?
The Hamas and Israelis.
So we are fact-checking Israel to stop the disinformation against Hamas. Because if they didn't behead 40 children, Hamas turns into amnesty.
Well, you know, Padmaja, since I come on your show very often, and Times Now, I think, is, from what I saw last, is one of the most watched TV channels. I think we all should be here right now. My Sanju Verma, it represents India's ruling political party. I think we all have to behave and speak responsibly.
We're speaking very responsibly. Because when you say that there are two sides and both sides are engaging in disinformation, one is a sovereign country, the second is a terrorist organization. The two cannot be equated. And let's be very clear, this, sir, as you would realize as a very educated and learned person, is in itself the problem. That we are drawing a false equivalence between a terror organization and a country and saying there are two sides to this war between the Hamas and the Israel. No. One is a terror outfit and nothing that can be said about them is disinformation.
Well,
final word, Sanjay Jha, and then I want to bring in the others. Yeah. Yes.
Here's my short answer to your question. Yes, Hamas is got terrorist manifestations, can't be denied. But please, when you call Palestinians, you can't call Palestinians terrorists, by the way. And let's recognize this reality.
It's about the Hamas, not Palestinians.
Yeah, hang on. So let me explain. The Palestinians in the West Bank and the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, by the way, cannot be branded as terrorists.
Nobody is.
Absolutely. So here is my point. And the reason why you're calling them a terrorist or nobody's talking about a Palestinian state is because Israel, by the way, is occupying West Bank and Gaza Strip. I have, by the way, put out a tweet which puts a fact that you need to recognize today. My last point, and I'm done. Benjamin Netanyahu in 2019, while addressing his own party, is on record to say, let us support Hamas, let us fund Hamas, because that is the best way to handle Palestine. This is Benjamin Netanyahu, who's currently the Prime Minister of Israel.
Okay, I'm actually on the other side going to be joined by Ehud Barak, where I'm going to talk to him about exactly all of this. But I want to again limit, because you did not answer my final question, which is that when we are stopping disinformation or supposed disinformation, which this is not, let me again reassert, this is not, who exactly are we shielding here? Not we, but some people. Sanju Verma, respond that disinformation is disinformation and that is what is being countered.
You know, Padmaja, I heard for the last 15 to 16 odd minutes a long monologue by Sanjay Jha, and I agree it's a sensitive issue and we don't need to degenerate into having a tutu meme. But given the nature of the beast and given that falsehoods are being peddled and with, gay abandon, there are certain points which your audience needs to know. First and foremost, I was in a debate yesterday also on Times Now, and Sanjay Jha was the panelist from the other side. He did not once call Hamas a terrorist organization. He kept referring to the Hamas as a militant outfit. So point number one, when you try and rationalize and normalize terror and terror outfits like Hamas by calling them as militant organizations, you are doing a great disservice to the people on both sides of the spectrum. You are trying to rationalize terror and that cannot be condoned. Point number one. Point number two, you said that, West Bank and Gaza have been under Israeli occupation. So I would urge you to please read up and come for debates, because Israel was created in 1948. From 1948 to 1967, the Gaza Strip was under Egyptian occupation for 19 long years. From 1967 to 2005, for more than 30 years, I agree, for 38 odd years, it was with Israel. But since 2006, till now as we speak, for 17 long years, Gaza Strip has been under the brutal control of Hamas. While they say that, they came to power only after elections were conducted in Gaza Strip in 2006, be that as it may, I just want to remind to you, for everyone who's saying Hamas is not a terror outfit, and don't bring the religion angle. I just want to say one thing to you. Please read up the history of Hamas.
No.
It was set up in 1987.
Ma'am, here we are talking about the disinformation campaign. The disinformation campaign.
I waited for 16 minutes and you gave an uninterrupted run to Sanjay Jha. Can I get less than half the time? Can I get 5 minutes on this debate?
Yes, about the disinformation campaign.
Yes. No, because you've given a free run to Sanjay Jha on a lot of issues where he did not answer you. Please don't always put a gun to the head of the BJP spokesperson on your show. I will speak what needs to be told on your show, and I will answer your query also. I'm not here to listen to a bhashan from Sanjay Jha, which is what I've been doing. And he made zero sense.
Ma'am, please continue. Come to the point, please.
I'm coming to the point. I don't want to be heckled by you or the other panelists. The most important point is this, and your audience needs to know as much as Sanjay Jha. Hamas was set up in 1987. Hamas is a rabid Sunni Muslim outfit which clearly says that we subscribe to the Muslim Brotherhood ideology, and our intent is not to just have a free Palestine state where people live with dignity. We are not concerned about law and order in Gaza Strip. We don't care about peace, harmony, and tranquility. Our only one-point agenda is the complete destruction and annihilation of Israel. So as Benjamin Netanyahu quoted, and this is something which is viral on social media, if the Hamas and certain Arab factions lay down weapons, it will stop the Arab-Israeli war. But if Israel were to lay down weapons, it will actually lead to the complete annihilation of Israel, and Israel will not even continue as a state. And since Sanjay Jha, you've been quoting Joe Biden very generously. Let me also tell you one very important thing which Joe Biden mentioned in the last 24 hours. He said, and this is also there in New York Times, since you quoted New York Times, and I read that article before coming on Padmaja's debate. Joe Biden said, it is increasingly becoming clear if there were no Israel, no Jew anywhere in the world would be safe.